Hi, my name is Chirag Doshi and I'm a senior developer at Andala. I've been in this industry for more than 10 years now and I've seen vast improvements in development techniques and practices over the years. So today we'll be talking about debugging, good practices, ideal things to do, and what you need to do when you're debugging your code. So debugging is like being in a crime movie where you are the murderer. So it's actually where your code is not functioning as intended or what it was originally designed for. So what we're trying to do is fix it so that it works exactly as it's supposed to be. So in the debugging process, the first step is to capture the bug. So there are several tools you can use to track your bugs. Bug trackers and loggers, trackers like bugsnag and rollbar, as well as bug loggers like Sentry. You can also use project management tools like Jira and Asana. And I'll put in the links down here so you can have a look at them for further details. Why do you need to use the systems? You use the systems so that you can take a history of the bugs and be able to also analyze them for later purpose. And that way you can also see the cluster of bugs and you can fix those ones later too. So what are we looking for when you're capturing the bugs? We are looking for the stack trace, probably the first 10 lines because you don't want a lot of data. We are looking for the error payload. We are looking for the browser information, operating system, and steps to produce the error, especially when it's done manually. So the other thing we also could get is user information of the current user. So number 2, try to reproduce the bug. With all the information you got from the bug tracker, try to follow the steps and reproduce the bug. That takes us to step number 3. Find the bug in your code. This is where you first look at the last commit, and most likely that is where the bug comes from. If not, then you can go through the stack trace, and understanding of the stack trace is most important for you to get the bug. So if you look at the images here, you can see on line 4 that it says undefined variable. And when you go to the code, you can see that it says world in a capital letter. If you look at it closely, it says world with capital W. And when you look at the variable that was defined, it is a small letter W. So that definitely is where the problem is. Sort that out and the bug is fixed. Another step in finding a bug is using the statistical approach. Here, likewise, I said debugging is like a crime scene where you are the investigator as well as the murderer. So in this case, the crime scene is where a lot of bugs have been detected, and that's more likely where the bug could be. So look there first. You can also use a debugger. Using print statements and console logs are very good, but sometimes a debugger is much more easier to use, where you can step into the code, put breakpoints, and look at each part of the code, inspect it well, and you can easily find a bug through that. Some debuggers that you can use are from an IDE, like VS Code, or you could also use Google developer tools. So step number 4 is creating test cases. I know most of you don't like to do test-driven development, but there is no choice here. You have to create the test first, and then we can look at fixing the bugs. So create the tests so that you can reproduce the bug. And then we go to stage 5 where you are fixing the bug. So here we either add or delete code to make sure that the test cases pass. If they don't pass and the bug still exists, there are several ways so that you can look for help, where you can Google it, go through Stack Overflow, maybe do a pair programming session with a more experienced developer, Or finally, you can use try and error method. Try anything and see if it fixes the error and fixes the test, more important. Now that your bug is fixed, we come to step number 6. This is where you mark the bug as fixed and tell your quality assurance engineer to retest the code and then mark it as closed. I don't like debugging, so I'm sure you guys don't like debugging as well. So what we can do is reduce bugs in our code. Some of the ways we can do that is adding logging to your system. Make sure that you have enough logs, appropriate logs, so that in case something happens, you can track those errors. The other thing you can do is make your code very modular, using principles like solid, dry, don't repeat yourself, keep it simple. Some of those practices are good in improving your code quality. You can also add commenting in your code. Put it as minimal as possible, but a bit of code commenting can be good for your code. The other thing you can use is version control systems. So in case something happens, and if there are errors, you can roll back and start again. If you don't take anything from this video, please follow at least these steps. 1. Capture the bug. 2. Reproduce the bug. 3. Find the bug. 4. Create test cases. 5. Fix the bug. 6. Mark the bug as fixed for retesting. Debugging is a fulfilling challenge, and it's how you feel when you have sorted a really hard puzzle. When you find the bug, you feel like a god, and when you can't fix it, you feel like you know nothing. The whole cycle of coding and debugging is what makes programming fun and amazing. So, in case you guys have any questions for me or any comments, please reach me on my Twitter handle, and thank you.